We have some big news being made in the toy industry. Let's talk about it on PB's Toy Hunt. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to PB's Toy Hunt. I am glad to be back with you, all of you. I truly appreciate all of you coming back. I was sick. My wife got sick for a few days, nursed her back to health. On the back end of that, whatever she had took me out even worse. Oh my gosh, I was in the bed, I couldn't move. I was just no energy. Had a serious cough. Just I was miserable. So today is the first day I am able to actually have some energy and talk and laugh without coughing, because I could not get a word out without just coughing. And I am blessed to feel better right now. I hope all of you are feeling great. If you have any hint of not feeling well, make sure you get your vitamin C, take your medicine, do what you have to do, listen to your body, because I would not wish that on anybody. I was out, but I was still doing my best to keep up with the news of the day, the pre-orders, the new figures that are dropping. And just over the last couple of days, we had some huge news drop regarding Hasbro and some moves that they're making, and which also now includes McFarlane. Let's look at this article about what's going on with Hasbro. Uh, Hasbro is laying off 1,100 employees, which is crazy. And I hate to hear people getting laid off during the holiday time. Let's read the article and see what we find out. Hasbro is slashing nearly 20% of its workforce amid an ongoing slump in toy sales. Hasbro CEO Chris Cox announced layoffs for 1,100 workers in a Monday memo to employees. Cuts which come in addition to the roughly 800 jobs eliminated earlier this year. Now, the 800 jobs eliminated, a lot of that could include open jobs that just weren't filled. So a lot of times layoffs do include open jobs that just weren't filled. I remember my time in corporate America. The one thing I do hate is just seeing people laid off at the holidays. It never, I never get why people get laid off at the during the holiday season. I know you have to do end of year type thing. A lot of fiscal years start in October. Maybe their fiscal year runs from January to December, and they have to get it on the books. But it just makes no sense to me how people get notified during Christmas time or whatever holiday they celebrate that you're going to be laid off. You're going to lose your job. So that's tough. Cox said the decision to reduce Hasbro's workforce was made in light of market headwinds, proven to be stronger and more persistent than planned. What does he mean by that? Let's see. We anticipated the first 3 quarters to be challenging, particularly in toys, where the market is coming off historic pandemic-driven highs. Pandemic-driven highs. Pandemic-driven highs. So, what was happening during the pandemic? We were all pretty much locked into our homes. We couldn't do much. Those who had the disposable income to do so focused on their hobbies, one of those being action figure collecting and toys. A lot of online shopping was done during the pandemic. I know I did a lot. I got a lot of figures during the pandemic. So Hasbro was seeing the market share increase during the pandemic, thinking, oh, we're going to ride this out. But that wasn't to be. While we have made some important progress across our organization, the headwinds we saw through the first 9 months of the year have continued into holiday and are likely to persist into 2024. So the headwinds are people, there's a number of things I can see. A lot of people that would normally collect have been priced out. A lot of the prices are going up that people have to, instead of getting all the figures they want, they have to pick and choose the ones they can buy. So you've priced out a lot of people, and now they're seeing the results of that. Some Hasbro employees will find out whether their job has been eliminated this week, while the rest of the layoffs will happen over the next 6 months, Cox said in the memo. So the memo comes out, you don't know if you're on the list yet, but I'm sure some could probably see the writing on the wall when your department doesn't get the funding it got the year before, or you start to get kind of phased out. Like the building they have in Providence is being closed down. They're moving some people out. So there's a lot of things that start happening before this takes place. These things are not done overnight. They try to make it sound like, oh, we just came to this decision and decided to let everybody know. That's not the case. These things are planned months in advance, so they know well ahead of time whether or not this person is going to be on the list to be laid off. Hasbro, known for making toys such as Transformers and Play-Doh, and games like Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, had 6,300 employees prior to the layoffs, according to its website. Shares of Hasbro fell more than 4% in after-hours trading on Monday. 4% of a company that large, they lost a lot of money just in after-hours trading after making this announcement. Layoffs at the toy company come after Hasbro had cut its full-year revenue guidance in October. Now, full-year revenue guidance is where the company lets the stock market know what they expect to make at the end of the year. So they cut that in October, and this is, I'll go back to the story, just before the holiday season, which is usually the strongest sales period for toy makers. On the company earnings call, Hasbro's chief financial officer, Gina, I'm going to say Goddard, warned that the company was seeing broader toy category declines. So they're not saying exactly where they're declining, but I'm sure it's probably across the board, because when they saw the toy boom during the pandemic, they just assumed that we could keep this going. We could put whatever price we want on some of these things, and some of the quality and some of the quality definitely has declined in some of the toy lines as well. They thought they could just ride it out and people would just keep coming. Sadly, for some of these people losing their jobs, it has not been the case, and I hate to see that. Now, Hasbro said they're doing some restructuring, and we're going to talk about that in the next story that's coming up. But I kind of equate what's happening with Hasbro to a lot of companies, but I can definitely say Marvel Disney is definitely one of the ones that have fallen into that same trap, because they made so much money for so long. They assumed that because they were who they were, we were going to keep being who we were and keep showing up, keep dropping money behind whatever they put out, regardless of the product. And as we can see, Disney's in a steep decline. The MCU's in a steep decline. A lot of these things that rely on the collectors and they rely on the loyal fan bases are in steep decline, because they've gotten away from the things that we loved about them to begin with, and people are being more highly discerning with their wallets. So hopefully a lot of these people can get back on track, and I would love to see it. But at the same time, with Hasbro announcing the layoffs, now when you still have to kind of modify your revenue stream. And what they've done now, let's look at this. McFarlane Toys expands Page Puncher's brand and signs multi-brand licensing agreement with Hasbro. So the layoff notice came out yesterday. The multi-licensing deal with McFarlane dropped the next day. This didn't happen overnight either. They were doing both of these things simultaneously. They knew that they were losing revenue on self-manufactured items, so they said, we need to start licensing some of this stuff out, let somebody else make it, and we get some revenue off of it. So let's read this story. McFarlane Toys has announced an exciting multi-brand licensing agreement with leading toy and game company Hasbro, adding Transformers, Power Rangers, G.I. Joe, and Dungeons & Dragons to their Page Punchers lineup. Kicking off with Transformers and G.I. Joe products, each Page Puncher would include a full comic and 2 articulated figures. So we're going to get 2-pack Page Punchers based on lines that Hasbro owns. In this internet life we live, people don't read. So I just want to clarify, based on this article, McFarlane Toys has licensed properties that Hasbro owns. Hasbro licensed property that Marvel owns to be able to make Marvel figures. Marvel figures are not included in this license with McFarlane. People are already asking, I want Spider-Man, I want Venom. Can we get No, Marvel is not included. Page Punchers is an exciting program for us because it gets comic books into people's hands, along with a fun toy product who might not otherwise shop at comic stores. Parents enjoy them because they encourage reading, and collectors like them because they provide unique and interesting character stories. With articulated figures plus a full comic book in each Page Punchers item, we offer incredible value with this brand, said Todd McFarlane, founder and CEO of McFarlane Toys. From Transformers and G.I. Joe to Power Rangers, Dungeons and Dragons, and others, a number of Hasbro brands are known for their rich history and continued storytelling through comics. Page Punchers is a natural extension of these brands, providing the action and adventure our multi-generational fans have come to expect. We can't wait for fans and collectors alike to get their hands on the first product drop coming out in early 2024, said Casey Collins, president of licensed consumer products at Hasbro. Product is expected to launch in early 2024 and will be available at mass market and specialty retailers. It's going to launch in January 2024. Now, we all know the lengthy process that goes into creating figures for mass market. They didn't sign this deal yesterday to launch in January. This has been in the works for months, possibly even years. And we know a lot of the Hasbro companies' comic lines run through Image Comics, which is the baby of Todd McFarlane. So a lot of these things are hitting right now, but they've been in the works forever. Now, once again, for those, I read it for you so you didn't have to read it, but Marvel action figures, Marvel comics are not included in the Page Punchers line. So a lot of people will probably be frustrated, or when are we going to get the Avengers? No. This is just properties that Hasbro owns. So it's a good deal for people that I might get, if they do a good Optimus, the Bumblebee, or maybe they do. I remember they did a Transformers G.I. Joe comic, maybe a Transformers character and a G.I. Joe character. We'll wait and see how they look, and I might grab one if I like it. But it's not going to be something I'm waiting on bated breath for. I'm not going to collect the whole line. So, but if you're a Transformer lover, a G.I. Joe lover, this is right. This is coming up, and this is something that'll be right in your wheelhouse. So good luck with that line, and I expect a lot more changes coming to the industry here soon. Whether the prices are going to keep going up, so we can't worry about that. If you're going to be a collector, you just have to face the fact prices are going up, and what you're getting might go down. The number of accessories, so you may have to go to a different line, like Mayfex or 112 Collective, or even Hot Toys, to get everything you want in a figure. You're gonna have to pay for it. So you can't. I would say we can't keep complaining about, every time McFarlane drops a figure, a pre-order picture on Instagrams, people are always in there complaining. But like he said, if you don't like it, get out the way and let somebody who wants to get it go get it. At this point, we'll probably see a lot of cross licensing. McFarlane he dropped hints about that in that last town hall he had, talking about trying to license from other companies. He knew that this was about to drop, so he gave us a little bait. He dropped the bait for us, and now we see what was going on with that. So that's it for today as far as the news goes. We'll keep our ear to the ground and see what. I don't have sources. All I have is Twitter, and I have Twitter and Instagram and Yahoo News or something. I don't have any inside sources. So when it drops, I get it. I share it with you. So until next time, everybody. I think everybody continue like, subscribe. We'll talk about the giveaway, the 100 subscriber giveaway. I'm gonna do a redo on that one. It didn't work out the way I thought. I did get everybody what they. I got everybody taken care of, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. I'm not happy with how I had to end up doing it. So I'm going to do a redo on the 100 subscriber giveaway. So stay tuned for that. And we got a lot of other exciting videos coming up along the way. We're in the Christmas season. Do a lot of Christmas talk. So be blessed, be well, and until next time, happy hunting.